Hello, Brown Beauties. Deandra Giselle and Miss Kev on stage. Two brown girls here. Welcome back to our channel. This is a brownie minute on setting powder. The purpose of, and why do you need it? And why is it not something that you should be able to skip? No, it's not. This is how you get long-lasting makeup for at least half the day. Yeah. Depending on your skin type. All right, the first one that we want to show you guys is our staple, I can say, kind of. Yeah. Sacha Buttercup is a setting powder. So the purpose of setting powder is to, one, lock in your foundation or your concealer. Two, the new way that people have been doing it is putting on setting powder before your foundation, which was like a huge no-no. Like,
I got one more too.
Oh, what's the third one?
I've been doing this too. I've been taking my setting powder, and instead of applying it before my after my primer, but before my foundation, I've actually just been mixing it into my foundation, and it makes it a little bit thicker. Which, again, if you're an oily girl, you know about mattifying. Yeah, these are tips for the before and the tip that I'm giving if you're an oily girl. If you're dry or normal, you may not want to do this because it is going to mattify your foundation down. But what I find is it mattifies my foundation down.
Wait, okay. When you mix a little bit of the setting powder, and do you use a translucent or a color?
So I have used both, but that's why I brought both of these. But I actually prefer the Laura Mercier in Deep because I know it's not going to drown out the color of my foundation.
Okay, so those are the three tips. The first one is you use setting powder to put on after your foundation and concealer. And I have to tell you one other thing. I usually use Sacha Buttercup for my under eye, like so all my highlighted areas where I place my concealer, and then I use one like this that is a little bit more tinted for the entire face. People were doing a lot of baking, and I found that less is more lately.
Depending on your skin type.
Yes, so I'm combination dry skin. I used to be combination oily. And I put less here because if I put a ton, then it creases. I will say I put more here because I'm oily there. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is if you are oily, you are going to put the setting powder on prior to foundation. You're going to do your primer first, setting powder, foundation, and then you'll set it again.
Absolutely. You're setting, regardless what tip we're talking about, you're always going to set. You have to set. You have to set.
And the last tip that Miss Kev on stage does is she mixes a little bit of it into her foundation.
I bought a Giorgio Armani foundation over the summer, which I absolutely love. And if I'm not really keen or I haven't really been using my that wash, that Ole Hendrickson, and my skin is kind of being a little bit more oilier than usual, I put a little bit of this in it with the heavy duty primer. Good to go.
So the other thing too, as I was just thinking as we were talking about it, if you have an oily T-zone, you could do your primer, your foundation primer first, and only use the setting powder on your T-zone area, and then apply your foundation and then set again.
The one last tip that I want to give, that when you're actually setting, so after you do all the pre-steps, you put on your foundation, now you're at the point of setting. One really good way for you to truly like lock, and I get lazy on this, if I'm going to an event, I'll really do it, press and roll. That's going to ensure that you are getting into the crevices in your skin and it is not going to move.
This is an oily girl tip. I would not suggest it for combination or dry skin. Use a brush, like a dense brush, to do that, because if you press and roll, it is going to dry out your skin. So that is an oily girl tip. So that is our brownie minute for the purpose of setting powder. Be sure to like this video. Emphasis on like the video.
Like, y'all.
Please. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to us so you know what's happening with two brown girls. And share and have them join our brown girl family, because the more the merrier. We want all of you guys to know what is brown girl friendly? And that is for everyone across the board who has melanin in their skin.
Melanin in your skin, whether you're normal and dry or oily, we got tips for you.
Absolutely. So I am at Deandra Giselle on Instagram.
And I am at Miss Kevin Sage.
Be sure to check us out next time. We will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.